Hey everyone, it's Epoch here, and welcome to my entry into this week's comic book cover challenge set by Alan at Comic Collector Geek. This week's theme is underwater covers, so let's check out 10 covers that I've picked out from my personal comic book collection that show underwater scenes. Let's take a look. First up this week is Sludge number 3, which has this cover here showing Sludge at the bottom of the ocean there, fighting off these kind of eel-like, hand-like, weird kind of creatures here at the bottom. We kind of got the greeny, murky sea behind them there and the kind of bubbles floating up. So this is a fun one to start with. That's Sludge number 3. The number 9 slot this week goes to Action Comics number 731. Here on this cover we have Superman fighting Cauldron, kind of on the seabed here, just at the foot of this pier at the docks where they're fighting in the book. The reason this one's a bit lower down is because there's so much bubbles and debris kind of floating there, kind of behind them, that kind of obscures the underseaness of it. But yeah, it's still a fun one of Superman and Cauldron fighting at the kind of the ocean floor there, just at the foot of the pier. So that's Action Comics number 731. In at number 8 this week is The Mermaids, which was a crowdfunded comic that I backed on Indiegogo. This was the cover C from the campaign there, which has these two mermaids on the cover, just kind of hanging out together, looking cool. So I really like this cover, and it's a cool mermaid cover, so if there's a mermaid challenge, it might appear again. And I did already show this cover previously in the bikini challenge kind of months and months ago. So if you want to see it there, you can check out that video as well. But here we have in at number 8, The Mermaids, with this cool cover with the two mermaids there just hanging out under the sea. The number 7 slot this week goes to Shade, the Changing Man, number 45. It just has this really cool rendered cover here of Shade underwater there as he's kind of breathing there. You can see all the bubbles kind of floating out as he's struggling to swim there and to breathe under the water. I just really like the way that this one's been coloured. I think it really kind of gives that effect of looking through water, kind of to see him there struggling under the waves. So I just really like this cover. That's Shade, the Changing Man, number 45. The next comic I'd like to show this week is Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 8, number 17, which is another beautiful painted cover by Joe Chen. I just really like this one as an underwater cover, as the camera sort of placed under the water looking up, and we have this sort of water demon here swimming about, and above the surface you can see Buffy standing there as well with one of the other characters. So I just think this is a really cool one, another one that kind of really well depicts sort of looking through water that I really like. So that's Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 8, number 17. The number 5 spot this week goes to Supergirl number 12 from the new 52 run. I did actually show this book recently in the Monster Covers Challenge, so if you want to check out that video, it will be linked at the end. Yeah, this is just another cool kind of underwater cover. Here we have a Supergirl kind of deep underwater, sort of wrestling with these kind of ferocious eel-type monsters with their kind of sharp razor teeth there. And so I just think it's a really cool one to show that kind of entanglement you get with certain sea creatures. And it's just a good kind of undercover fighting cover. So that's Supergirl number 12. And at number 4 this week, we have Robin number 84, which is in the same vein of the Supergirl cover that I've just shown. This time we have Robin, who's entangled with these tentacles. It looks like a squid from just the cover, but when you actually read the issue, it's sort of like a half squid, half crustacean kind of creature. So here we have the tentacles wrapped around Robin, bringing him down, sort of drowning him. So I just think this is a really cool one. It kind of shows the depth of the water as well, just how green and murky the background is. So I just think this is a really fun one to show that underwater peril with the unknown sea creatures that are down there. So that's Robin number 84. The number 3 spot this week goes to the Uncanny XMen number 176. Again, in a similar vein to the last two covers, here we have Cyclops in close combat with the tentacle of this squid here that's wrapped tightly around him and is suffocating him. As you can see, all the kind of air escaping his mouth there and all those bubbles. And he's got that optic blast there trying to blast the squid to set him free, but his blast is so hard that it's cracked the Uncanny XMen logo there, which is a really cool touch as well for the cover. So I just really like this one of kind of Scott Summers in peril there as he's fighting off this tentacle of the squid that's sort of choking the life out of him. So that's the Uncanny XMen at number 176. And at number 2 this week, we have Oni Double Feature number 8, which again is a similar vein to the last 3 covers that I've shown, but this one ups the ante a little bit. Instead of a human fighting off the tentacles of the squid, this time we have a werewolf in combat with the squid or octopus, which I think is really cool. They're just fighting there under the water, kind of all the air escaping from their mouths there as you see the bubbles rise, and it's just this cool kind of ferocious sort of werewolf locked in combat with this undersea creature, which I just think is really cool. So that's Oni Double Feature number 8, and at number 2. And my number 1 pick this week goes to Red Fox number 14, which is a little more serene compared to the covers I've just showed before this, but I just really love this cover, the way it's kind of rendered. I love the background of the deep ocean, and we kind of see the depth of the ocean through the colour changes from the lighter blues to the dark blues to the kind of purpley blues to the browns and blacks right at the bottom. But we have the kind of mermaid here, sort of this in this green kind of supernatural glow, and the character who's sort of diving into the water here with the water displaced around him, also showing that kind of green kind of murkiness. So I just love the way that this book's been drawn and coloured, and how it shows the depth of the ocean. So that's Red Fox number 14. So that was my entry into this week's comic book cover challenge set by Alan at Comic Collector Geek. Of course, this week's challenge was underwater covers. So if you'd like to take part, then please pick out 10 covers from your personal comic book collection that depict an underwater scene, and upload a video using the hashtags #FridayComicChallenge and #underwater_covers. That way everyone in the community can get a look at the video you've uploaded and maybe see some covers that they haven't seen before and they'd like to add to their own collection, or you might see some covers in our videos that you want to add to your collection. And if you'd like to check out some of my previous entries into the comic book cover challenge, and please click on this playlist that's linked here at the side. And otherwise, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.